Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm NatsMan, and I'm reading the Bible from beginning to end. This is video number 18. Today, I'm going to be giving a summary of the book of Genesis, which we just finished on the last video. Genesis is the first book of the Bible and sets the foundation for the entire biblical story. Its name means beginnings or origins, and that's exactly what it provides. The beginning of the world, of humanity, sin, God's covenant promises, and the nation of Israel. In chapters 1 through 11, it's primeval history. Genesis opens with the creation of the world in 6 days. God creates everything: light, sky, land, seas, plants, animals, and finally, mankind, Adam and Eve, made in his image. He places them in the Garden of Eden with a simple command, and they disobey, eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This act of disobedience, the fall, introduces sin, shame, and death into the world. From there, sin spreads rapidly. Cain kills his brother Abel, and humanity becomes increasingly corrupt. In response, God sends a great flood to cleanse the earth, sparing only Noah and his family. After the flood, God makes a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy the earth with water, and setting the rainbow as a sign of that promise. But sin continues. In pride and rebellion, people try to build a tower to heaven, the Tower of Babel. God scatters them by confusing their language. These early chapters show both the consequences of sin and God's consistent mercy. In chapters 12 through 25, we learn of Abraham's journey of faith. The narrative shifts to one man, Abram, later named Abraham. God calls him to leave his homeland and promises to make him into a great nation, give him land, and bless the whole world through him. This is the start of God's redemptive plan for humanity. Abraham's journey includes moments of faith and failure. He believes God's promises, but also lies and struggles with doubt. His wife Sarah is barren for many years, but God miraculously gives him a son, Isaac, in their old age. One of the most powerful moments is when God asks Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, but stops him at the last moment, showing Abraham's faith and foreshadowing God's own future sacrifice. Abraham also has a son, Ishmael, through Sarah's maidservant Hagar. Though Ishmael becomes the father of a nation, the covenant promise continues through Isaac. Isaac grows up and marries Rebekah. They have twin sons, Esau and Jacob. Esau's the older, but Jacob, with the help of Rebekah, deceives both his brother and his father to gain the birthright and the blessing. Jacob flees to his uncle Laban's house, where he works 14 years to marry Rachel, the woman he loves, and also ends up marrying her sister Leah. Through these women and their servants, Jacob has 12 sons who will become the 12 tribes of Israel. After many years, Jacob wrestles with a mysterious man, perhaps God himself, and is renamed Israel, meaning he struggles with God. In chapters 37 through 50, we have the story of Joseph. The final section focuses on Joseph, Jacob's favorite son. His brothers, jealous of him and his dreams, sell him into slavery in Egypt. Joseph suffers many injustices, wrongfully accused, imprisoned, but God is with him. And eventually Joseph rises to power as second in command in all of Egypt, interpreting Pharaoh's dream and preparing for a great famine. When the famine strikes, Joseph's brothers come to Egypt seeking food. After a series of tests, Joseph reveals his identity in a moving scene of forgiveness. And he tells them, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." The family reunites and settles in Egypt. Genesis closes with the death of Jacob and Joseph. Jacob blesses his sons, prophetically speaking over their future tribes. Joseph, before dying, asks for his bones to be taken back to Canaan one day, holding on to God's promise that Israel would not remain in Egypt forever. The key theme of Genesis is that God is the creator. Everything begins with God. He's the designer of the universe and the giver of life. Sin and its consequences from Adam to Joseph's brothers, Genesis shows how sin damages relationships and the world, but also how God continues to pursue and redeem. The covenant and the promise, God's covenant with Abraham, becomes the backbone of the entire Bible, promising land, descendants, and blessings. And God's sovereignty and providence, especially in the story of Joseph, we see how God works through trials, human choices, and even evil for his greater plan. Faith and trust, we have Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. They all grow through journeys of faith, learning to trust God even when circumstances seem uncertain. So in summary, Genesis takes us from the creation of the world to the formation of a family that will become God's chosen people. It's a book full of promises. It's a book full of beginnings, of life, of sin, of hope. And it ends not with a final word, but with a promise that God's work in and through his people is just beginning. Join us as we continue reading the Bible. We'll start in Exodus next. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoyed reading it. Please feel free to comment if you do so desire. Also, please subscribe and give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for the next video, and until then, thank you. I hope you have a blessed day. I'm NatsMan.